Kurt Cobain's Gibraltar Bridge mod, the upgrade that transformed his Univox high flyer. Kurt Cobain is remembered as the loud, explosive frontman of Nirvana, a guy who turned raw emotion into power chords and feedback. But behind all that noise and chaos was a musician who actually made smart, calculated decisions about his gear, especially when something got in the way of his performance. One of the clearest examples of that was the bridge mod he made on his Univox High Flyer Phase 1, where he swapped out the original flimsy bridge for a beefier Ibanez Gibraltar saddle. At first glance, it seems like a small, random change, but if you really look at what this mod did, how it affected tuning, tone, sustain, and reliability, it's clear this wasn't just some quick fix. It was a decision that made his cheap offset guitar a true stage weapon. So in this video, we're diving deep into the why, the how, and the real-world results of Kurt's bridge swap, and how you can do it too. Let's start with the basics. The Univox High Flyer Phase 1 is a Japanese-made guitar from the early 70s. It's got that Maserite-style body, P90 pickups, and a vibe that screams garage rock. Kurt famously used his high flyers early in Nirvana's career, especially during the Bleach era where the tone was thick, gritty, and loud. But here's the thing. The stock bridge on the high flyer, not so great. It was a floating bridge system, similar in design to what you'd find on a Fender Jazzmaster or Mustang, basic stamped metal, low mass, and not built for the kind of abuse Nirvana brought to the stage. Kurt played hard. He hit the strings like he meant it. He used heavy alternate tunings, drop D, drop C, half step down, and was constantly bending, sliding, and muting. That kind of playing exposes flaws in a guitar's hardware fast. The stock Univox bridge suffered from constant tuning slippage, intonation issues, saddle movement during play, and even string buzzing, especially under aggressive attack. This was more than just annoying, it was holding him back. So as always, Kurt found a practical solution. He replaced the bridge with an Ibanez Gibraltar saddle, a bold move, and not something you'd expect on a low-cost offset guitar. Let's talk about what made the Gibraltar such a huge upgrade. The Ibanez Gibraltar bridge was introduced in the late 70s and continued into the 80s on many of Ibanez's higher-end models, especially their Gibson-style copies and artist signature guitars. The Gibraltar was a fixed, non-tremolo bridge made of heavy metal with a solid base and individually adjustable saddles. In short, it was built for stability. Unlike the Univox's floating bridge, the Gibraltar sits flat and solid on the body. That means no rocking motion, no saddle slippage, improved tuning stability, and better sustain through direct body contact. It might not look flashy, but it's rock solid. Now, the upgrade isn't plug and play. You can't just drop the Gibraltar onto a Univox without doing some prep work. Here's what's usually involved. 1. Remove the stock bridge and posts. 2. Fill the original holes if the spacing doesn't match. 3. Mark and drill new mounting holes for the Gibraltar. 4. Adjust the action and height to work with the Univox neck angle. Fine-tune intonation. This kind of mod is best done by someone comfortable working with wood and hardware, or by taking it to a tech, but it's not as complex as it sounds, and it can absolutely transform your guitar. So what exactly changes once the Gibraltar is installed? First off, the feel. The strings don't feel loose or flimsy anymore. You get a tighter, firmer response under your fingers. It's easier to dig in, palm mute, or let power chords ring without weird resonance or movement. Next, the tone. The Gibraltar doesn't color the tone drastically, but it gives it more clarity and punch. You'll notice stronger lows, more sustain, and less weird overtones from saddle rattle or string wobble. And finally, tuning confidence. You can strum harder, bend more, shift tunings between songs, and your guitar holds together. No more tuning mid-set, no more loose saddles. It just works. And here's the thing. This wasn't just about improving tone or feel. For Kurt, this was a survival mod. He didn't baby his guitars. They got smashed, dropped, abused, and drenched in sweat. A cheap bridge couldn't handle that. The Gibraltar could. This upgrade allowed him to keep using the same guitar he loved without having to constantly fight it. So what can we take away from this as guitarists today? The message is simple. Mod your gear to match your style. Don't let the factory parts limit you. Don't be afraid to swap in a bridge, tuners, pickups, or electronics if it helps your guitar perform better and last longer. That's exactly what Kurt did. He didn't chase tone perfection. He didn't care about collector value. He just wanted his gear to survive a set and give him what he needed to express himself. And that's what a good mod should do. If you're playing a Univox High Flyer or any offset guitar with tuning issues, unstable intonation, or bridge rattle, this mod might be for you. It won't make your guitar sound like Kurt, but it will make it work like his did, because underneath the smashed guitars and feedback, Kurt Cobain was a smart player, someone who knew what worked and wasn't afraid to make bold choices to stay on stage and in tune. So maybe it's time to take a page from Kurt's book. Look at your guitar. If the bridge is weak, if tuning is a fight every time you pick it up, make the change. Upgrade the bridge, try the Gibraltar, and turn your instrument into something tougher, stronger, and built for your own chaos.